Bear with me, the title is definitely a little bit clickbait. The cattle panel greenhouse is still standing behind me, but it did temporarily have to come down due to some high winds. This is an opportunity to talk about securing the cattle panel greenhouse to the ground, something we kind of skipped out on in our original build video. The greenhouse is back together now, but I want to talk a little bit about what happened, why we did what we did. Originally put this together, the frame is secured from wiggling back and forth by the pieces of rebar, but there's nothing really holding the frame to the ground. Putting the plastic up is kind of like putting a big sail up in the air, and so when there's a lot of wind, there can be a lot of force pushing up on it. You need something to anchor it to the ground. This is a DIY thing. I don't want to recommend and say if you do exactly what we did, it won't fly away. We're really still learning as we're going. This thing, like I said, it almost went up the other day. Sydney was on it. She was watching it like a hawk. She kind of knew. We had, like I said, some really big wind gusts the other day. And so we were out here and we saw it. It was just moving around more than we like. It didn't, it wasn't like it flew out of the place, but we were afraid with a big enough wind gust, it might have really gotten some air. We went out and we got these tie downs, these anchors that we can twist, screw into the earth. And we got some nylon rope. We got the strongest nylon rope, that we could find at the hardware store. I think this is pretty appropriate materials, but again, we're still learning as we go, so maybe there's better materials to use out there for a greenhouse. If you've got ideas, drop them in the comments below. Let me know if you think this is right, wrong, whatever your opinion may be. The thing that I would recommend that I think is working well for us is we got these little, there's probably an official word for what these things are. Basically, it's like an adjustable hook on both ends, and so the hooks both have threads, and you have that piece in the middle you can twist, and so you can tie the rope and get the rope pretty snug. Then you can really crank down on it on this adjustable piece, this adjustable hook. Again, there's probably a word for this thing. It really lets us clamp down on the plastic, the cattle panel, the frame. It's all connected, and so we're really clamping down on the whole thing, holding it snug and tight into the earth. Now, we did this on a day that's very calm. There's hardly any wind load today. We're gonna have to keep an eye on it when we get the next big wind event and make sure that this actually still holds together. A little chaotic yesterday with the wind. We had to take the plastic off. That was basically when the wind was happening, and we realized it wasn't as secure as we wanted it to be. We quickly took the plastic off. It's real easy to take it off, folded it up on the ground and moved some big hay bales over it. And then it was going to be cold enough last night that we actually moved most of the plants and seed trays into the shed with a light, like a heat lamp for a chicken brooder that we've had set up in the shed before. The shed is luckily just right over there. Pretty easy to move the plants, and we would have had to take them out anyway. So the fact that we had to take the plastic off, it was kind of convenient timing, at least only in the sense that once the plastic was off, we didn't want the plants in there exposed to the wind and the cold, but we were going to have to move the plants that same day anyway. So it all worked out. It's tied down now. We got another real hard freeze tonight, so the plants are still in the shed. Tomorrow, we're supposed to be out of any danger of frost for a solid 2 weeks, and so we're going to get everything moved back into the greenhouse. We still have to kind of fabricate some better doors on the fronts. We're just kind of weighing things down with rocks right now. We've got some little slits that we roll back. But overall, feeling pretty good and excited about the greenhouse project. In spring, a lot of the seeds are germinating. I can't think of anything else I want to share right now, but I just felt like it was important to put out there as a follow-up to the original, building the cattle panel greenhouse video. Just, it is important to find a way to secure it down. This is how we did it. So far, it's working. When we get the next wind burst, we'll tell you if we fly away or if it stays on the ground. Hopefully it stays on the ground. Also, I'll just say, we've had the plastic back on for like less than an hour, and it is already like 95 degrees in there. I think it's probably like 50 out here today, something like that. Like, it's not that hot today. I have a sweater on, multiple layers, but it's hot in there already from just an hour. So it's definitely working in that sense. What do you think, Sadie? Did we fix it this time?
She holds no opinions.